Welcome to the HornetsFanshop.com pregame show. I'm Matt Rochinski, joined by Sam Perley. We have to give a shout out here on opening night to our colleague, Aaron Pitzenberger. We'll be hosting this show for the rest of the season. Unfortunately, fell a little ill last night. We're hoping she can bounce back and be here for tonight's game. But Aaron, get well soon. We miss you.
Absolutely.
So now let's talk a little bit about opening night.
All right.
We are pumped. We are excited. I get chills just talking about it. I swear, look, I get goosebumps right now just talking about opening night. It's that kind of excitement that's around here. How much are you feeling it, Sam?
Oh, I'm very excited. Obviously, it's been a long summer. We're out in April. We've gone 5-6 months out playing basketball. And there's a new energy in here. It's not the same thing. We've got new players. We've got new coaching staff, new general manager. Everything's changed. And with that change has brought not only that excitement for the regular season, but kind of amplifies it just a little bit more. Combine that with all the nostalgia and 30th anniversary, it's going to be an awesome night, and I absolutely cannot wait.
Let's talk about some of those changes. Mitch Kupchak first, brought in here as the general manager, came in, made changes, had some decisions he had to make on who to keep, who to let go, needed to make some different things happen for this organization to kind of jump-start it a little bit. Also made some changes with players. Dwight Howard, no longer here. Tony Parker, a Charlotte Hornet. That still sounds absolutely insane to say if you think about it. Tony Parker, a Charlotte Hornet. How great is that? But just talk about some of these moves and how you think Mitch has had an impact on this team already in the offseason.
I think it's about changing the culture. Obviously, he dipped into James Borrego, came out of the Spurs organization. Tony Parker, as we know, 17 years with the Spurs. I think he wants to bring some of that winning culture here to this organization. You can see it. Some of the moves, they're not the easiest thing. Obviously, change is hard, but it's necessary. You know, the team's been kind of in a stalling the last couple of years. In order to get things going, you got to take maybe a step back in the summer, redo some shuffling, and then move forward a little bit. So moves have been exciting. I'm really excited to see Miles Bridges tonight. He's looked great in the preseason. Devontae Graham has looked really promising. And then our second-year guys, Malik Monk, Dwayne Bacon, Billy Hernan-Gomez, who's still very, very young. All these guys, I think we have a lot of young talent. It just, again, feeds into that energy, a lot of youthful. So it's been a big summer for change. It's different, but it's hopefully for the good.
Yeah, I got to wonder if I'm Mitch Kupchak sitting down watching these Hornets basketball games and I see Miles Bridges elevate and take off to the rim the way he's been doing and blowing up social media, if he's sitting back there going, all right, I think I did a good job. That guy was a find.
Oh, absolutely. He looks great so far. I think he cautioned a little bit. I mean, remember, he still is a rookie, so when he starts going against, right now he's going against second-tier players. He's going against rookies, other players. He's looked great so far. I mean, you can't knock him for playing well right now. There might be a little bit learning curve here and there. He's played 30 games at Michigan State the last 2 years. He's going to play 70, 80 this year. So there will be, some adjustments here and there. But overall, I think he looks great so far. He's exciting, and I think that's what this team needs. They need a young player to kind of come in and take some of the load off Kemba, take some of the load off Nick and Jeremy and guys like that, particularly in that second unit, bringing energy. So obviously looks like a great find so far.
You also mentioned Coach James Borrego, a young coach brought in here from the Spurs organization, a proven winner. This guy's got a great track record in the league. This is his chance to really show what he can do as a head coach. He did it in Orlando as an interim head coach and had great numbers there. But this has really injected new life into the Charlotte Hornets organization. You can feel it during practice. You can feel it during shoot-around. You can feel it before preseason games and summer league games. There's just a different energy that Coach Borrego has brought, isn't there?
Absolutely, and it's hard to kind of put a finger on it. Obviously, the music and shoot-around is the biggest thing I know is practices. But the players, everyone looks chippier. There's a different coaching staff in here, and it just feels different. I think, and the cool thing about James is he started as a video coordinator in San Antonio. He's not a former player. He went from basically the ground up, worked his way through the San Antonio organization, went to New Orleans, went to Orlando, did some experience or head coaching experience there, went back to San Antonio for 3 years. He's got, did a lot of deep playoff runs. There's a couple of championship rings with the Spurs, and he's only 40 years old. I mean, but he's already been in the league for 15, almost 20 years at this point. So that's crazy to think that this guy has that much experience and he's 40. So he's been phenomenal. I think talking with him, the guy, he's a proven winner. He exuberates confidence. He's definitely been a breath of fresh air around here, and I think he's the right guy to lead this team.
Now, when he got here, I'll be honest, to say that we're going to change the style of basketball that this team is playing. We're going to get up and down more. We're going to shoot more three-pointers. We're going to attack the rim more, and we're going to get to the free throw line. Those have been the things that we've heard over and over throughout the course of the offseason, preseason, etc. To see it kind of all start to take effect in the preseason, number one, I was surprised how quickly these things started to come together and how much you really see the vision that he has on the court for this team. We go out and go 4-1 in the preseason. I'm excited that we went 4-1 in the preseason. I know we talk about records and that doesn't really mean much, but at the same point in time, it gives these guys an extra boost as they head into tonight, doesn't that?
Absolutely, and I think the fast play is a testament to how hard these guys worked this summer. This was not something they started in training camp and just put together in 3 or 4 days and it's just clicked. They've been working on this offense the whole summer. Guys have been in and out, had the whole team in here lifting, doing group stuff together. I mean, this is not easy what they're doing. Completely changing the offense, completely changing the defense. This was believe it or not, it was a top 10 team in pace last year, and they're already about 7 to 8 possessions faster per 48 minutes in the preseason. A lot of variables come into place with that, obviously, but they're averaging about 6 or 7 more three-pointers per game. The pace is quicker. And I think this team was, I think, 9th in the league in pace, and JB wants to get even faster. I don't know how fast he's going to go. But so far through the 5 games, this is what he wants to do. And I think it's a testament to the coaching staff and it's a testament to how hard the players have worked, because this is not something that happens overnight. You don't just go out there and start shooting threes and it just happens. There's a system been put in place, and these guys have worked hard to incorporate it and be ready for opening night. Later
on we're going to have a chance to sit down with Kemba Walker here on the pregame show. Talking with Coach Borrego yesterday when we did our coaches show, he was mentioning the fact that Kemba Walker was the key this offseason. The fact that Kemba bought in so quickly really kind of put this on other guys to buy in as well was so important to what Coach Borrego is doing. When you look at Kemba's game, how do you think that this new style of offense is going to fit Kemba's game as he goes for his 3rd All-Star appearance?
Well, he certainly likes to shoot threes, and he fits that mold. He's been one of the better three-point shooters in the league the last couple of years. And he wants to, it's been tough the last couple of years. This is a guy that wants to win more than anything. You've been here his entire career so far. He wants to win more than anything, and the last 2 years have been tough on him. If it's going to be come in and bring some more guys and take some pressure off him, I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares at all. If it's playing off the ball and it gets him better looks, he might not have the ball as much, but he's going to have better opportunities to score when he does get the ball, because the floor is going to be spaced more. You've got Jeremy Lamb coming in the starting lineup who can shoot, Nick Batum, Marvin, even Cody shooting threes now. I think it's going to open things. Kemba might have the ball a little bit less, but I think his chances and opportunities to shoot are going to be a little bit more advantageous. I think it's just going to open things up. And then you go to the bench, I think is a lot stronger. You run in a lot of reserves. Miles, Tony Parker, as you mentioned. Malik has taken a step forward. Billy has had a great preseason. So overall, I think this is a very, very complete team. And you saw in training camp, there's a lot of competition for spots and minutes. In the event where someone's probably going to get hurt at some point or doesn't play well, I think there's good guys in place to kind of step up when those situations arise.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are Sam Perley's hot takes here on the
Hornets saving him the whole summer, so I'm ready to get him out.
He's been ready. He's been prepped. He's been ready to go. We're ready to go, too. We've got some new faces around the organization. One of them is Chris Kroger. We want to take a look at seeing how Chris was preparing during the offseason.
All right, listen, I think Krogs was a great hire, and we want him to get as much work as he possibly can. But sometimes I think he takes his job a little too seriously.
We are really locked into a tense game of battleship right now between Jelly and Rashad.
E4. Nah.
It's a tough miss for Jelly. Might come back to haunt him later in this game. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
What about B2? Yeah, it could sunk my aircraft carrier.
That's a big landing from Rashad. That's the biggest ship in Jelly's entire fleet.
F5. Got me.
He did it. He actually did it. He sunk his battleship. Jelly, that's a walk-off winner. You just sunk his battleship.
Welcome back to the HornetsFanShop.com pregame show. Joined by Kemba Walker now, the 2-time All-Star, going for his 3rd consecutive All-Star appearance. Not to put any pressure on you, but I mean, everybody's doing it, right?
No pressure.
No pressure whatsoever. How excited are you right now? I mean, I know this has been a long time coming. It's been a long offseason. You guys have gotten to this point. Opening night, how pumped are you?
To put it in perspective, I feel like this is my first NBA game.
Really?
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I'm ready to get going. For the new year. We got a chance to, watch the 2 games last night, and after seeing that, the NBA season is finally here. It's been a long time coming. We've been done since April from last season. So, we're done with preseason, and now the regular season's here. The games matter, and just excited. And then we're home, for the opening game. So, I can't wait.
So much change in the offseason. Obviously, new coach brought in, new GM, all of these things we've talked about over the course of the offseason. Now leading up to this, is that why you're so excited right now? Because it is something different and something new for you.
Yeah, it is. It's new. New coaching staff, obviously. We got some new players, a new system. Like I said, it's a new season as well. Last year was a pretty disappointing year, obviously. So, now it's a fresh start for us. And now, we're just ready to show people, the work that we've put in over the summer, the work that we've put in over the course of the preseason, the training camp, and we're ready to, take our games to another level. We just want to win. We want to go out there, we want to execute, we want to play with great energy, and really show the fans, how much we will improve.
Kemba, with this being the 30th anniversary season, obviously we've got a lot of members. The original Hornets coming back tonight. Got the classic jerseys wearing tonight, the classic court. You've seen the jerseys. I'm not sure if you peeked at the court yet.
Yeah.
What is kind of your take? You grew up in the 90s kind of during that Hornets mania. What is your take on kind of really having a throwback feel tonight for the home opener?
It's exciting. It's exciting. I got a chance to be on the court. I actually worked out on it this morning. And, yeah, man, I'm super excited to, feel that energy. I know how I always hear stories of how crazy it was out here when the old Hornets were here. So, to have that feel, it's going to be great. And hopefully the fans bring that energy tonight. But, it's going to be on us for those guys to have that energy, and I think we'll bring it out.
Obviously, you're very excited for tonight. I got to ask, what is this afternoon like for you? How excited are you? Are you just sitting around thinking? Are you napping? What goes through your mind as you get ready for this first game? Or you show up to the arena a little bit early just because you can't sit at home anymore?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna try to nap. Usually, when after tonight I'll be fine. But right now, today, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna try to go through my routine, which is a nap. I think it's gonna be tough. I think my mind's gonna be racing just like it was last night, which it was pretty tough for me to sleep because I was just so excited, just thinking about everything basketball, just so hyped and just ready to play. And I think it's gonna be the same this afternoon for my nap. Hopefully I can get my nap because I don't like not getting my nap, but it'll be all right. I'll be all right. Regardless of anything, I'm gonna come out with a lot of energy tonight just because I'm so excited. The adrenaline's gonna be pumping. Everyone's excited. Teammates, the fans. I'm pretty sure you guys are excited.
I'm very excited.
I'm pumped.
I was pumped watching last night. I want to get out there and watch you guys go for it too.
Exactly. So, that's just how it is on opening night. Everyone's just so excited, ready to go. Like I said, it's just been such a long summer for us. We're just ready to show and prove.
Talk about that summer and the preseason a little bit. 4-1 in the preseason. I know records don't mean anything in the preseason. It's not going to be indicative necessarily of how the team might start, but it's still got to be a great feeling for you guys to feel like things are clicking as you enter the season.
It counts for us, man. I know the record doesn't count, but we went out there in the preseason in those games, and we took those games very serious. We took them. We went into those games. We wanted to win those games. That was our mindset. We weren't really worried about the other teams that we were playing against. The mindset was for us to go out there and execute what we did in our practices and just get better. Possession by possession, day by day, game by game. We wanted to execute. We wanted to get better. That was our mission. And the wins, they matter to us. We know that they didn't count. We know right now we're 0-0. But at the same time, we got better in those games. We executed our offense. Whenever we made a mistake defensively, we spoke to each other and we got it right. And that's what really mattered to us. We just wanted to continue to get better throughout the preseason.
We've heard throughout the preseason the style of basketball that Coach Borrego is bringing is an up-tempo style. It's more threes. It's more attacking the rim. All those things obviously fit your game too. But one thing I noticed in the preseason, more options. More options to score. It seemed like last year, when we got down to the fourth quarter, Kemba's got the ball in his hands. I don't know if it was because nobody else really wanted the ball. We know how much you like to have the ball. But how much does it help this team to have other options as well?
It helps. Any team, the more guys you can have scoring or just playmaking in general, it helps. Just especially for me. You know, sometimes, you know, I'm human. I get tired sometimes, and you know, I need other guys.
Wait, you get
to
tired?
plays.
No, I haven't seen him get tired, folks. I mean, I've seen him. You can play 48 every night, couldn't you?
I mean, I could. But
Maybe tonight you go 48.
Well, thankfully we got
exciting.
Tony, so that's nice. You got that little
Yeah,
respite.
for sure. But yeah, like you said, you know, just to have more options is better. It's better. Whenever you have other guys making plays, it just takes more pressure off me. It just takes pressure off me. It allows me to, you know, get spot ups. You know, it just makes things easier for me, you know, as a player. So yeah, until the fourth quarter, you know, and when the fourth quarter comes, I mean,
Then you can have the ball as much as you want. Then we're fine with that.
Pretty sure.
No problem.
One thing I noticed in the preseason a lot was the bench, the depth. It seemed like when you left the court, there was not as much of a drop-off in play. How much is that, not only on the scoreboard, that's going to be a big difference, but for mentally, when you come back in, knowing that you don't have to make up ground, that you have to put a lot of pressure on yourself, kind of going back with having options, but there's not going to be this big weight of, you know, Kemba goes off the court, Kemba comes back on. What does that do for you mentally coming in and out of games?
I think it brings trust. You know, it allows me to trust guys. Which I always do. I always trust my teammates. But yeah, it's just a great feeling to know that, you know, guys are going to come in and be about their business and, you know, go in and execute and play hard, play the right way. And honestly, a lot of that has to do with Tony. You know, him coming off the bench. I mean, he's been a starter in our league for years, and he just knows how to manage the game. He knows how to talk to guys. He knows how to bring the best out of guys, and that's what he's doing. You know, he's dictating the tempo, and that means a lot. That means a lot. So it's really an honor. It's an honor to have him, just cause, I mean, you know, he's the reason why I think our bench is going to excel.
Well, Kemba, we know we're all excited to get going for another season. We're going to let you go because we got to make sure he gets home and gets that nap.
Yes.
He said if he doesn't get that nap, it's not a good thing. Go home, get some rest. We need you for tonight. We're going to check out that classic court now that Sam and Kemba were both talking about earlier. Check it out. Welcome back to the HornetsFanShop.com pregame show. Just had a chance to check out that classic court that the Hornets will be playing on tonight. I know you didn't have the chance to play on that court, Rex, but I'm sure you've had a chance to see it. What does it look like when you walk out there and see an old Hornets court out there?
The whole place looks great. Walking in here today, there's a great mix of new and old. Seeing the old sort of throwback uniforms brings back a lot of memories.
What does that feel like for you? Obviously, you were the first ever draft pick by the Charlotte Hornets back in 1988, number 8 overall pick. For you coming back now and seeing all these things, does it kind of bring things back to you about how great things were for you back then?
No question, and how great they are now that 30 years later they would still want me to come back here and do something like this. We were all just kids, you know, Muggs, Dell, and I. We went everywhere together. We were kids, you know, 19, 20, 21 years old. And growing up, we didn't realize we were all still, you know, growing up together. And, you know, little baby Stefan was following us around. We didn't realize the baby was better than everybody.
What's it going to be like for you tonight to be reunited with those guys and a lot of those guys from the original team?
It'll be fun. You know, we've gotten a chance over the last year or two, sort of with this coming up, to come into town and spend time with guys, have some lunches, dinners, and it's always great. It's just like the locker room again, you know, within a minute. It's just comfortable. Everybody laughing and joking about things that happened 30 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rex, this place is obviously very special. It's where you got drafted to. It's where you started your NBA career. You did a couple other, you were with a few more teams after that. What is it about Charlotte that stands out the most in your NBA career compared to some of the other teams you played for?
Yeah, well, this was just brand new. It was brand new for everybody. I remember initially, you know, I came into the league and there was Miami and Charlotte, and these weren't teams I grew up watching. They weren't teams anybody grew up watching. And so there was a part of us that thought, oh, you know, this doesn't really even feel right. And then the more we played, the more support that we got from the fans. It became home, and there was no place better here for 3 or 4 years than to watch a Charlotte Hornets game live in that building, because it was crazy. And hopefully they'll get back to that tonight.
Is it weird for you to think that you guys, you talk about Dell and Muggsy, yourself, you guys started that culture? Is that still weird to kind of think that culture that really, really took off when you got into the Larry and Alonzo years and kind of went through all the way through the 90s? Is it weird to think that you guys were the ones that started that, and were you aware of it at the time with, you had these different colors, the purple, teal, this is colors that nobody had seen before. Did you know what you were doing at the time?
No, not at all. We were just being paid to play basketball, and it was just brand new. You know, we practiced at a little building, Grady Cole Center. It wasn't fancy. Nothing about any of it was fancy, except we had the big new arena, you know, new uniforms. It was a new show in town, but we certainly didn't think we were starting something. We were losing 3 out of 4 games all season long. So it was just sort of, I don't want to call it dumb luck, but, you know, we worked at it and all that, but we certainly didn't realize we were really starting some sort of fanatical thing.
You mentioned losing 3 out of 4 games all season long. You know, we've got the stories about the parade and all those things. You guys won 20 games and had a parade.
God.
Those type of things. I mean, you laugh at it now because it does seem kind of.
We laughed at it then.
We
couldn't believe it. Yeah, they were like, we ended the season and they said, all right, guys, we'll be back a couple days and we're going to have this parade. And we were like, parade? We thought, they're joking with us. And they said, no, the fans really were very into having a parade. And we had a parade and we won 19 games, I think. So it was great.
Right.
It was great.
But that fandom, to see that come back with the reemergence of the Hornets when we got the name back, for you as a former player, that had to be awesome to see.
It's awesome. It also, you know, for years I had to say, well, I was drafted by Charlotte, but Charlotte's now New Orleans, and New Orleans, Charlotte's the Bobcats, and that's where but it's just great.
It's easier now.
It's easier, cleaner. I don't have to go through all of it. Charlotte, the Hornets.
Do you have a particular memory that stands out from your time in Charlotte? Was it dunk contest? Was it that first season? Do you have anything that kind of really stands out in terms of your memories here?
Yeah, all of that stuff, the dunk contest, All-Star Weekend, all the games, you know, going through the peaks and valleys the first few years. The one that stands out the most to me is a game I didn't play in. It was early in the season. I had hurt my back in college, and it was giving me some problems early in the season. And we played the Bulls, and I was on the bench in street clothes, and we beat the Bulls that night. And just, you know, we weren't supposed to beat Michael and them. Kelly had a huge game. Kurt had a terrific game. Bobby Joe Reed had a great game, and we beat those guys. And it was just fun for me sitting there on the side cheering for my teammates in a game where we beat, you know, who would soon become, you know, 6-time world champs.
That's crazy. You talk about old memories. Now talk about this new team. Have you had a chance to kind of check out this new Charlotte Hornets team and what they look like? Have kind of changed things up this season?
I haven't had a chance to check them out. I know they have a young, energetic, youthful coaching staff. I know that they have 2 gems in Malik Monk and Miles Bridges. These guys are highlight reels. It's going to take a little time probably for them to get their bearings this year. They'll come off the bench, I would think, for a little while anyway. But Kemba's a pro. You know, you've got pros, Nick Batum, MKG. There's talent on this team, Frank. I think this is a playoff team in the East. I'm going to be a little disappointed if they don't sneak into the playoffs this year, to be honest, because I think they have the pieces, they have the youth, they have the veteran leadership. I'm excited about this year for the Hornets.
Sam brought up dunk contests. You brought up the youth. Miles Bridges has been blowing people away all across social media. People are saying, get this guy in the dunk contest. Maybe we need to do something where we have an old and new, and we bring back an old guy from the dunk contest. Do you think you could still throw him down? I mean, you competed in 2 of them.
I could do a layup contest. But you guys have 2 guys that need to be in the dunk contest, because I was with Malik at Kentucky for a year, and Malik goes up. Miles dunks with power.
Yep.
Both of those guys are fantastic to watch. I'm really excited the Hornets have those 2 guys under contract.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us. We know you got a busy day today. Got a lot of things going on. Obviously, it's opening night here in Charlotte. Joined by Rex Chapman. Really appreciate you coming on. We're going to now take a look at those classic uniforms that Rex was talking about earlier, the white ones the guys are going to be wearing this evening. Check it out.
Rambos at the buzzer. It's over. The Hornets win the game at the buzzer. They'll take it in. Fires to Curry. Shot at the buzzer. Bounce pass on the baseline. Ends it for the
I'm excited to see what those white jerseys are going to look like tonight on that new old Hornets court. It's going to be pretty cool to watch. I know the excitement is going to be palpable in the building. Everyone's getting a free 30th anniversary team T-shirt. Those white shirts will be filling the stands for sure. We've got some great things going on, as Rex mentioned. We've got members of the 1988 Hornets team that are going to be here. All kinds of stuff. There's an exclusive print available in the Hornets fan shop that is something new for this year, a limited edition of 300. They're $40 a piece, signed by the artists themselves. Really cool stuff that we have. Make sure you go check out the fan shop if you're in the arena tonight. So, with that being said, though, I guess we got to talk about the other team that's going to be here tonight.
There's a game tonight.
There is a game tonight. This is the first one. The Milwaukee Bucks are in town. Always a tough matchup. The Bucks, obviously, one of those teams in the East that could surprise people and be a top 3 seed, but could also kind of fall somewhere in that 7, 8, 9. We're not really sure what to expect with this Bucks team. What do you think the Hornets should expect tonight?
The Bucks are very good. They finished the year as a 7th seed last year, but they had a coaching change midway through the year, so there's a little instability with that. They hired Mike Budenholzer in the offseason, who actually has a history with James Borrego in San Antonio. He was with the Hawks for the last 4 or 5 years. Obviously, you said Giannis Antetokounmpo is likely their main guy. He's an MVP candidate. He's kind of the straw that stirs the drink for them. Chris Middleton is another very, very good player for them. He dropped a career high here last year, 43 points. And you got Eric Bledsoe. They've moved Malcolm Brogdon into the starting lineup, who was Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. So they've got a lot of good pieces, and this is not going to be an easy game. I think, this team will be focused. Obviously, there's a lot of, pomp and circumstances going around, rightfully so for opening night, but this is a good team. They brought back Ersan Ilyasova this summer, who was a big part of the Sixers run last year. They've added Brook Lopez, who's been an all-star before. So very, very tough team. This is going to be a good matchup tonight, and I'm excited just from not only everything that's going on with the 30th anniversary, but from a basketball standpoint, this will be a good test right out of the gates.
Athletes versus athletes. Do you think this one's really going to get up and down the court? I think we could see up to 120 points apiece from these teams.
No, absolutely. Giannis is up there as one of the crazier players in the NBA. He's extremely long. He's extremely athletic. He can do just about anything on the court. Eric Bledsoe is a phenomenal athlete as well. Chris Middleton. These guys are really, really good. But we've got some good guys as well, and I'm excited to see what we can do. New lineups, new rotations. Things are definitely different, but it should be a really, really fun night, really, really entertaining.
As much as the offenses are going to be getting up and down, it might be the defenses that really decide this one. Who's going to buckle down a little bit stronger, play a little bit tougher. Hopefully it's the Hornets with the fans behind them here at Spectrum Center tonight. For Sam Perley, for Rex Chapman, for Kemba Walker, I'm Matt Rochinski for Hornets.com.
Be here. To get your 2018 season membership, call 704-HORNETS. This is Buzz City.